Welcome back to MzansiVerse TV. I am your host who has never paid a bill in South Africa, and honestly, after today's list, I am very glad about that. We are counting down our picks for the top 10 companies currently circling the drain in the Rainbow Nation. Whether it is load shedding, bad management, or just pure South African chaos, these businesses are on their way out. Roll the credits, Karen. Number 10. At number 10, it is Edgar's, the clothing store that has been slowly turning into a ghost town since the 90s, yet somehow keeps the lights on. Walking into Edgar's today feels like visiting your gran who refuses to admit she needs a hearing aid. The mannequins look defeated. The music is the same playlist from 2003, and yet there it stands, technically alive, like a corporate zombie in a polo shirt. Edgar's has closed hundreds of stores but keeps breathing. We respect the spirit, not the strategy.
Patterson addressed the Edgar's store staff, reassuring them that the store will not be closing despite the rumors. Edcon will, however, look at downsizing the Johannesburg store.
Number 9. And look, we know Eskom is technically still alive, but its reputation died years ago and nobody held a funeral. The retail-facing side of Eskom is basically just a company that sends you a bill for electricity you did not have because load shedding took it. They somehow managed to be both the sole electricity provider and the reason nobody has electricity. That is a talent. A terrible, terrible talent.
These data, it showed that 4 out of its 15 power plants are breaching government emissions regulations designed to protect people's health. Eskom officials have confirmed the violations but said making the plants compliant would take time. They also said it could undermine efforts to address South Africa's worst power crisis on record.
At number 8, South African Airways. This airline has died, been revived, died again, been bailed out with taxpayer money, died a third time, and is apparently still somehow operating flights. At this point, SAA is less of an airline and more of a philosophical question about what it means to exist. If you do manage to board one of their planes, congratulations, you have achieved something remarkable.
$3.7 million. It's a slight improvement though from last year's heavy loss. SAA said it was hard hit by the weaker rand and maintenance costs for aging aircraft.
Coming in at number 7, Pick n Pay. Once the beloved family grocery store, Pick n Pay spent the last decade watching Checkers become cool while they were busy rebranding the same aisle 17 times. Their loyalty app crashes regularly, their prices went up, and their CEO has changed more often than their promotional pamphlet design. Woolworths is thriving, ShopRite is thriving, and Pick n Pay is in the corner eating the reduced to clear rotisserie chicken of despair.
David North on the line from Cape Town. David, thank you for joining us. Pick n Pay, I think, was concerned about an erroneous report earlier today about looming job cuts. So we do know this is a voluntary retrenchment process that you announced earlier. But what about the numbers? Reuters estimating 3,500 people. Is that the number of people that left voluntarily?
Number 6, MultiChoice, home of DStv. The company that charged South Africans premium prices for buffering sports and repeats of The Bold and the Beautiful since 1995. Netflix, Showmax, and YouTube exist. DSTV's only remaining value proposition is live sport, which they hold onto like a man clinging to the last biscuit at a meeting. Their subscriber numbers are dropping faster than signal during a thunderstorm. Sad. Truly the end of an era of bad reception.
DStv will become a zombie brand, a name without substance, a product existing because change requires effort, not because anyone desires it. The dish will come down, one house at a time, one cancellation at a time.
At number 5, Telkom. A company so committed to mediocrity that it turned the concept of customer service into an abstract art form. Telkom is like that one uncle who keeps telling you about his business idea, but has never actually started it. They had a monopoly on landlines for decades and still managed to lose ground to everyone. Their mobile network exists. Their internet exists. Whether it works on any given day is purely a matter of luck, vibes, and the phase of the moon.
It's become a lot more competitive, particularly once you start moving outside of that traditional fixed line service into the new IT services environment in particular.
Number 4, Massmart and its beloved child, game stores. Walmart bought Massmart for billions, looked at the South African retail environment, looked at the load shedding schedule, looked at the exchange rate, and basically went, what did we do? Game stores once sold you your first DVD player. Now they sell you generators, which is technically progress, but not the kind anyone wanted. Walmart has been trying to exit for years. We feel you, Walmart. We really do. At number 3, we are not saying Dis-Chem the pharmacy is dying, but the shareholder confidence absolutely is. After a string of profit warnings, price controversies, and logistical nightmares, Dis-Chem went from being the darling of the JSE to the kid who got dropped from the team WhatsApp group. Their share prices had more dips than a municipal road in Johannesburg. Still open, still selling vitamins. Spiritually though, somewhere between critical and stable.
I actually do. I use both. I alternate between the two. And after that, I went and looked. Yeah, guys, I wanted to shout, cold as balls, but I was like, I'm not trying to promote Kevin Hart's show. He doesn't pay me. Yes, it doesn't.
Number 2, and it is PROSA, the passenger rail agency of South Africa. The entity responsible for trains that either do not run 3 hours late, or have been set on fire. PROSA has received billions in government funding and in return has delivered nothing. Stations have been stripped for copper wire. Locomotives were bought that were too tall for the tunnels. We genuinely cannot make this up. PROSA is not just dying, it is a masterclass in how to dismantle public infrastructure one stolen cable at a time.
PROSA has been finding itself rather on the back foot the past 15 years to go back, but specifically since the year 2018 when the board of PROSA at that time just did away with all the security guards guarding the infrastructure.
And the number 1 spot, with no competition whatsoever, the South African Post Office.
An institution so thoroughly and completely destroyed that it had to be placed under provisional liquidation in 2023. The post office stopped paying salaries. It stopped delivering mail. It stopped pretending to deliver mail. If you sent a parcel through the South African Post Office in the last 5 years, that parcel is in a better place now. We do not mean delivered. We mean gone, spiritually ascended. The post office is not dying. It is already a ghost, floating through abandoned sorting facilities, haunting philatelists and confused pensioners waiting for their social grant letters. Rest in pieces, Sappo. You were once important. And that concludes our list of companies making the slowest exit in South African history. If you have shares in any of these, we are so sorry. Please like, subscribe, and maybe invest in a generator. Let us know in the comments which South African company you think is next. Until then, stay loaded, stay lighted, and try not to get your credit card declined at checkout. See you next time on MzansiVerse TV.